One of the issues the prior speaker brought up was the prevalence of mobile and network-based services. He spoke a lot about mobile money, cell phones and handhelds for banking and travel and social apps. So I want to, as the first topic, throw this out to you guys. How does that fit in, mobile-based, network-based systems with all those applications with large systems, education and large systems in industry? Any thoughts?
When you're dealing with those kinds of systems, you're dealing with something that doesn't have a lot of storage, per se, and it's pulling its information from a network or connection. So that information has to be stored elsewhere, and transaction processing on those devices is also limited. So the processing of the money in your bank account has to be done elsewhere as well when you're pulling it on there. So you have a big system like a Z10 or on the back end doing the processing and just carrying back the basic information to that device that's connected. It's really, when you look at those devices, they're just pretty much they're just little terminals, really.
There's a very good opportunity here with the rise of mobile computing and m-commerce. A lot of students don't seem to notice the real importance that back-end enterprise systems have to their everyday lives. We interact with mainframes and other enterprise systems dozens of times every day, if not hundreds of times, and we don't exactly realize it. Being able to access your bank account up front, being able to pay bills and things, it puts a lot of that stuff more in your hand, and it gets people thinking more about the back-end systems that process and run those things. And so it's a good opportunity with the rise of m-commerce to really drive home the importance of back-end systems for these things. And it's a good way to possibly get that spark going in students to say, how exactly does your money make it from the banks, through the ATM to your wallet? How does that work? And it's a great way. I think it's a good opportunity.
Well, I was just going to say that with all these mobile devices, there needs to be some way to manage all of them, the user accounts and people that are registered to use them, and a large-scale enterprise system kind of provides the means to be able to do that, effectively manage them.
All right, so we've established then that even though we have these really new, exciting, bleeding-edge technologies and mobile networks and mobile devices, you got to store it someplace, and that's where large systems, or to use our prior speakers' nomenclature, the kind of backstage work gets done. So with that in mind then, can you guys talk about some of your experience or what you're seeing right now in your curriculum and your schools regarding those large systems?
With Widener, we had close work with people from JP Morgan Chase, and in coursework, pretty much like how do you think every time somebody swipes in an ATM machine, how reliable it has to be. We were processing, it's not thousands, it's hundreds of thousands of transactions a day on now it's ATMs, and you also have the online banking, and I've got 2 devices in my pocket that I can go and access at any moment.
At our school, we have this portal called iCampus, and all the information displayed on this portal that has your grades, your email, everything is managed by the school's Z890 mainframe. It's interesting that most students don't have a clue that it's managed by a mainframe, but it is. It's a whole web page application, and it's all managed by the mainframe. So, I mean, a lot of people don't realize when they go to their bank website, the information is probably being pulled the same way as well. So, and that's what I've noticed quite a bit.
Do you guys get to actually work with that, log in, touch it, use it, get down close to the metal like we were talking about yesterday?
That's the university's administrative system, and they're very protective of it.
Yeah, they tend to be that way. I don't know why. Just because your grades in the billing.
I don't know. I could, I don't know what I would do. I don't think I would change my grades to A's. I mean, no, they're very good on security.
At the University of Arkansas, we have courses in KICS and SAP, and those give a lot of our students that are really unfamiliar with enterprise concepts a great way to understanding exactly how to process, how that stuff gets processed on their phones and that sort of thing. And it gives a good perspective through application development, the overall picture, including integrated business processes, how they go from business concept to actual deployment and use.
Have you taken part in any of those courses?
Yes, I recently completed my SAP certificate at the Bolton College, and I've completed all of our enterprise coursework.
Cool. How do you think that positions you for a career compared to your classmates who maybe haven't done that?
Most excellently. This past year, I passed the IBM System Z Mastery exam, and I would say definitely my experience in our coursework definitely prepared me for that. Employers take notice of it. They really like seeing it there on my resume, and I'm sure it's been the case for many others that have acquired it.
We're right now just pretty much like doing the development work right now. So I mean, as we continue doing that, like some of the courses will begin using the systems, and I mean, you know, all the students, not just like enterprise computing system students, but all of them will be, you know, using the one system. So I mean, it's pretty much like a group involvement.
At Marist, we have a couple of programs that we use, and I took the Intro to ZOS class as an undergraduate for elective, and that class kind of went over the key concepts you would see in using Kix or some kind of transaction-based management system, and we had a mainframe we could use, a 990 for testing and experience on the mainframe using TSO and ISPF.
So how'd that work out?
It was an interesting experience. It's different.
Okay, I'm going to use your tone of voice as a segue to the third part of that topic, which is, do you guys have reservations about this? About spending a not insignificant and perhaps a very significant part of your education, at least within your major, on large systems? And since I segued to you, Sean, you can start.
Well, when I first logged onto ZOS, it was definitely different from anything you've experienced as a computer scientist throughout your career and your life. I mean, I grew up in Windows and everything's GUI and a kind of point and click kind of way. So when you log on to something like that, something that looks primitive, even though it's not, it's kind of you're taken back by it. And I think it's only after you really get on there and you start to experience it and see the functionality and the complexity that you're kind of, you know, like, wow, this is extremely powerful, and I can use this to really further my career and also myself as a computer scientist.
So you can discover the coolness factor, just maybe not in the first day.
Yeah, it takes a couple days.
Hey, that's all right. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Reservations about that, or your road to discovery of the coolness factor?
So far, I haven't had any reservations. As important as these systems are, I feel that we're spending more time on them. Now, I've signed up for the enterprise systems track at our school, so I'm already deep into it. And I've had COBOL and JCL, and as you work with that, I had a wonderful instructor, Dr. Wallace, in those two classes, and you learn what you can do, and you learn about about the transactions and how they're handled on there. You realize how important the system is. We've also had the benefit of IBM loaning us the 890 system to work with, and we've also had the chance to participate in the Master the Mainframe contest, like all the students across the country could. I think IBM should try to politicize that contest a little bit more, so I think that's a good thing that they do. So, I mean, I've got a chance to learn how important these systems are, so no, I think we need to spend more time.
You're in deep. That's great.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I got, for me, I'm a computer science major, so, I mean, I'm more into the programming side of computer science, but, I mean, I started getting involved in the enterprise computing classes because, I mean, I felt that I could easily relate them to, like, a lot of other applications. I mean, it's, you know, a computer is a computer, although it's a lot bigger and can do a lot more things, but, I mean, you know, a lot of things are the same, and, you know, being able to understand, you know, what different people are using, I mean, will just help you in, you know, conversations or, you know, understanding, you know, just different businesses.
Well, I'm gonna go back to high school. I didn't learn anything about any type of mainframe technology or large systems, and so not knowing that and then coming to a place where they're actually teaching something about it. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to know anything about it. So it was just it opened my eyes to a new venue of possibilities as far as computing power and processing power and the storage capabilities of the mainframe, and how much it actually incorporates or how much it is incorporated in the technology world. And so my reservations are that I don't know that much about it still, as it's still an ongoing learning process, but I'm encouraged by what I know so far. So.